Welcome
to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 315 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here. We're going to be live hacking on some Firefox stuff today. Going to be getting down to the nuts and bolts of trying to get the jump list stuff that we've been working on for the past couple of weeks wired up to the front end properly. It's going to be a good time. Let's get started. I will start by sharing my screen. 1 second. Here we are. And let's pull up the agenda. Right, so this is episode 315. It's February 8th, 2023. If you happen to be watching this in the future, you might want to read up on what happened during this. Hang on, where am I going with this? I normally start with this preamble. Let me back up. Let me do that over. Hey, it's episode 315. It's February 8th, 2023. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I think I know what I want to do today. I kind of have a vague plan of how I want to approach things, but it might go wrong. I might get sidetracked. I might get rat-holed. I might, end up succeeding amazingly or failing spectacularly, and that's okay. None of this is super pre-planned. We're capturing software development in the raw, and I'm just happy to have you on the ride. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the agenda that we're reading here in front of us is available to you depending on where you're watching the stream. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it's in the video description. Same with diode.zone. If you're watching this on Air Mozilla, it's in the details section over there. And if you're watching this on Twitch, it's down in the channel details down below. And that's all to say that maybe you'd be interested in knowing more about this stream and maybe some of the stuff we've covered either in this episode or in previous episodes or in future episodes if you're watching this in the future. And if you're watching this in the past, how are you doing that? And the best way of reading up on how things happened or what went on during a particular episode is to check out the episode guide. The episode guide is a completely viewer-driven resource. If we go there now, we've got episodes up to 310, and we've got copies of the agenda as well as various handy-dandy links. A lot of this is like the agenda, but it's also links to how you can watch the episode on Air Mozilla. Lots of good stuff. Periodically, there's additional details in there that SmurfD or whoever has contributed the episode guide will have added. I want to once again shout out SmurfD for all the great contributions to the episode guide. I just also want to shout out to anyone who has kick powers to kick whoever is spamming some kind of promotion of something in the chat. Go ahead and kick them. Not a huge fan of promos in the chat. The episode guide. I did want to also mention that you can send your own pull requests. If, like I said, it's viewer driven. If you yourself want to add your own notes, addenda, or corrections to the episode guide, go ahead and send me a pull request to the repository. We actually have a couple of pull requests, and I thought we'd start by merging that in. SmurfD says, already fixed. Oh, as in the kick. Wonderbar. Thank you so much, SmurfD. You got my back. Speaking of SmurfD, here's some episode guide submissions. Let's check these out real quick. So this was for episode 311. Let's just double check all of the sort of the details here. Episode 311 was on January 11th, 2023. That looks right. The link looks right. This link looks right. And what did we do back then? We reviewed a patch from Danny Cullen about, I think it was the contextual identities. We reviewed that patch. That patch has subsequently landed. So if you're on Nightly, you can experience Danny's fix. So you can see how you can't easily create containers with empty or white space only names. And then we did some Windows jump list hacking. And then there was some Q&A here about applying old patches. That all looks good. 312 was 1 week later on January 18th. That looks good. The latency over the VPN was pretty bad, so I didn't do the jump list then because I was at home. I'm at home right now. The VPN thing and the connecting to my Windows machine in the office seemed to work last week, so we'll try it again this week. We did some more reviews, and I don't remember what we did about this. I think maybe I talked a little bit about it, and then I talked a little bit about careers.mozilla.org and a blog post about the joy of coding, and then some good first bugs. Talked about Servo a little bit, and the new migration wizard that myself, a couple of other people at Mozilla are working with a bunch of students from Cal State LA, and they're working on making our migration wizard better. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody. So let's go ahead and merge this in. I think it looks great. Thank you so much, Smurf D. Thanks. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the other one real quick. This was episode 313, which happened on January 25th, 2023. Those links look right. More jumpless stuff. We had gotten a little bit further. I don't know if we'd I think we got stuff to show up on this episode, so that was pretty exciting. Yeah, that looks good. Then episode 314 was last week's episode, and that was February 1st. Yes, the Pi episode. And we got our testing plan put together, more or less. So that's good. And that all looks fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and merge these in. Special shout out to Smurf D for keeping the episode guide up to date. Thanks so much. Comment. All right. So that's taken care of. Let's see. And I'm kind of intentionally stalling because I'm waiting for this build to finish. We've got a debug build with our Windows jump list stuff, but the debug build is so slow that I thought we'd try, now that we've kind of got things working properly, we'd try an opt build, and we'd try wiring things up to the front end, and that's a lot easier if things are in an optimized build. But that optimized build got started about half an hour ago, and it's still running. It'll probably be done in the next 10 minutes or so. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for that build to finish, I thought we might kind of talk a little bit about what we might do to make this whole approach to the jump list preferable. Because what we want to do here is we have this new technique of talking to the Windows jump list system, and I want it to be the sort of thing that we can roll out and turn off if we get it wrong. And once we roll it out and we're confident that's right, then we can remove the old one, the old mechanism. And so there are already some prefs related to this thing, and I'm thinking of adding a new one. But basically, this is going to change how the Windows jump list module talks to the jump list builder. Because right now what it does is it calls into build list, and it creates these special tasks and whatnot. And I think what I want to do is make it so that whenever and then there's the taskbar API wrappers commit and all these things. I think what I want to do is whatever calls this is update. I'm going to have it use the pref to choose whether to call. I'm going to rename this to build list legacy or build list original or something. And then I can use the pref to switch between the old build list and a new build list, which will call into our new API endpoint, and which I think will be a lot simpler to wow, I'm getting traffic updates in Windows. That's crazy. And that'll be a lot simpler because there's a lot less that we need to do with the new API. We don't have to commit or anything. We just have to construct these objects and then call into our API endpoint. So I'm pretty excited about that. So let's start by adding a new preference. I don't feel like there's any problem with me I know a build is underway, but since this is a JavaScript file, I don't think we're gonna have any really big problems changing it while we're building. If it was a C++ file, would tend not to touch it while we were building, but because it's JavaScript, I think we're okay. We can just repackage it quickly, but we're not going to get any like compile time errors or anything. So let's take a look at our current set of prefs for the jump lists. They're all under like browser.taskbar.lists is the branch. And they're only set if we're on Windows, which makes a lot of sense. Previews enable, previews max, previews cache time. I don't know if we ever talked about previews and what they were. Previews. Looks like whatever those are gone. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that's related to something else entirely. Let's take a quick peek to see whether or not this pref is used anywhere. It is used. Preview per tab. Oh, I see. It's the thumbnail down here. I understand. So these are unrelated prefs, and then the lists. I think this is what we want to manipulate. So browser taskbar lists. I'm going to add a new pref. I'm going to call it legacy backend true. And this will need to be rebuilt actually because it's behind a build time pref, so we will need to rebuild that, but it's not going to cause a build error because I changed this file or anything. So let's add that up here. We're going to say enabled const pref taskbar legacy backend equals legacy backend. And then recent enabled is false. I think we talked about this, that we optimize for using the frequency rather than recency. Like this was disabled way back in the day. I don't think it ever got turned on. So we can probably just remove that pref at some point. And maybe we can do that down the line. But for now, we just want to add our one legacy backend pref. And then inside of update, get branch. Now here's the other thing. I want this to be a one-time pref read because I want, what do I want here? Do I want this to be a one-time pref read? Or do I want this to be something that requires a full browser restart in order to effect? I mean, that's usually the easiest way to avoid problems with something like this. Because in the wild, you're never really going to have the case where you switch from one to the other during the same like runtime session. So I think I want like a one-time pref read of this preference. How are these prefs used out of curiosity? What do we get? Bool pref. I see. Refresh prefs. Enabled. Update timer. I see. It's not enabled, so we refresh the prefs. And when do we do that? Refresh the prefs when we notice that the prefs are changed. Oh, I see. And what is the... Is there like a... Okay. This is, I think, the object that we're going to want to put our... like dangle our value off of, right? And we init, enabled, we get the builder. builder is up here. Class, construct it. Refresh prefs. For each builder, we call refresh prefs on it. I see. It's kind of annoying. Oh, that works. I think what I want to do is have this get a legacy backend argument, and we'll call it true by default. Or use legacy backend. This dot use legacy backend equals use legacy backend. And then over here in update, where is update? Build, oh, it's, yeah, build list. Oh, I see. Okay, hold on a second. Instead of passing it in like this, I'm seeing how this is constructed now. The builder doesn't need to know. The builder just has some stuff called on it. We can name this build list legacy. Who calls build list? Just these two places, I think. We'll call it build list legacy. Who is there anyone else that calls build list out there? No, I don't think so. And then if this dot use legacy backend, then do this. Whoop. What's the way? Yeah, there we go. Otherwise, if there's no built PB, if not built PB, build list. I think what we can do is go like this dot PB builder build list. Whoop. This dot builder build list, and that'll be our new one. And then up here, use legacy backend will be true by default, and then do a one-time read to determine whether or not to do a one-time do a startup read. We do a startup read of the backend pref here, so that because we don't want to have to worry about bugs, don't want to consider any bugs that occur if the pref is flipped at runtime. We want the pref flip to only take effect on a restart. Right, so this dot use legacy backend equals, and then I think we go like lazy dot prefs get, hang on, how did this work? There's like Lazy prefs get bool pref. That's what we're going to do. But it's going to be pref taskbar legacy backend. And then we need new methods. One, build list legacy is the old one. We're gonna have one here called async build list. And this one is completely separate from all of the others. Legacy list building. New list building mechanism that to do document. Okay. How are we doing on this build? Almost done. We're in the X's. That's good. All right. And so what we want to do is builder, commit list, build, builder, abort. What is builder in this case? I think builder is the here, new builder, and then we pass in the jump list builder xpcom class. So it's all quite confused. But okay. That's the thing that we're going to call populate jump list on. Build list. It's going to be on this dot builder. Populate jump list. And then we're going to have to construct the task and custom descriptions. So build list. Delete active jump list. Don't leave the last list hanging on the taskbar. Delete active list. Anything to build? And then we start the build. Okay. We should probably continue to delete the active. We should probably continue to do this. If there's nothing, we're not showing frequent or not showing recent or not showing any tasks, then we'll delete the active jump list. Otherwise, we construct these tasks. This should probably be like build tasks, legacy, build frequent legacy, build recent legacy, commit build. But for now, what we'll do is we're going to go through the underscore tasks, which are this is so complicated. This can be greatly simplified, I think, whenever, yeah, the tasks config equals this global object, args icon index. We're going to do a mapping. Open, true, close. What does that mean? What do the open and close mean? If we're shutting down and not task.close, if we're shutting down and this isn't the close task, then return. If we're not shutting down and this isn't the open task, return. What does that mean? What does it mean for a task to be open or closed? But we don't always update the list on shutdown. This is true for consistency. Open. I want to read more about this change in particular. Windows jump lists. Open. Boolean indicates if the command should be visible after the browser opens. Indicates if the command should be visible after the browser closes. I see. We don't always update the list on shutdown. That's true for consistency. New window. Okay. True, 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 true. These are always true. Build custom. Shutting down equal if we are update shutdown state in shutdown. So when we see profile before change, then we'll do update shutdown state. We say that we're shutting down, and then we say free. Then we clear a bunch of stuff. We delete the builders. Update timer. Then we do a refresh. Or we try and kick off the update timer, then update idle observer. Oh, to shut it, to remove it. I see. Then we delete and delete, delete. Oh, okay. This is all quite complex. For now, let's do the simple thing, which is to just go through the tasks and create a map. Okay, what are these things called? They're called the task descriptions. Equal this dot tasks map task, and we're going to return, okay, and a task description has a title, a path, arguments, description, an icon path, and fallback icon index. And so some of this, I'm going to make this easier on myself by grabbing this and having it for reference down here. Title and description, that sounds like we probably kept those. Title, description, okay. So return title task dot title, description task dot description. Args, arguments, task.args. Here, let's copy this too. So I don't have to keep flipping back and forth. Basically, we're just trying to learn how to convert between the old format and the new format. I need an old priest and a new priest. And this, okay, this bug here, I'm going to save and reopen Sublime. This tooltip bug, I've seen a number of times, not just on Windows too. That is a Sublime bug. Title. Path. Now, path we can get from... Normally that was done when building the handler app icon. File, get the XRE, that right. It's really just this. Fab icon page URI. So I want this file dot path. Right, like if our build's almost done, by the way, so that's exciting. If I open up a build here, and I do this and ask it for the path. Yeah, that's what I want. All right. So title, arguments, I'm going to put it here. Ooh, I'm getting a delivery. Amazing. Thank you very much for the delivery. I've got, smells like tea and crunchy peanut butter on toast. Amazing. Thank you so much. Also, quick shout out to this dog named Abby who's getting dipped into the shot. What's up, Abby? What's up? Want to say something in the microphone? All right. Good to see you, Abby. Thanks for visiting. Smurf D says, hey, Abby. Abby, I'm sure, says hello back. I think we can get the path to executable one time here. We could probably do this one time at the very beginning, like, and cache it. But for now, we'll just say, like, self path equals that. Self path. Arguments is task.args. So what have we got? Title, description, path, arguments. Then we need the icon path and the fallback icon index. Now, I believe for the icon path, we don't want anything. We're just going to have we can leave that blank, and then we're going to supply the fallback icon index, which is 0, which is the Firefox icon, I believe. Let's just double check that that's what we wanted to do here. Oh, no, that's not true. It's going to be one of the, it's going to be on the task.icon index. There it is. And I think that gives us our tasks. So that'll go in here, task descriptions. And then we need the title of the custom section, which is, I think it's recent. Let's see if we can, no, it's not recent. Frequent enabled, but like it does say recent at the top here, despite it being the frequent, most frequent. And where we get the history results, build recent, build frequent, show frequent. Okay, so how does this work? We build custom taskbar frequent label, which I think we looked at this. Taskbar frequent label is frequent. Do I remember correctly that this is a bug that we are experiencing, that I happen to have frequent enabled, recent enabled is false, and yet it's still showing recent for me and showing me stuff from back in the day. Right. I have a broken version here for my own personal build. There's no sound. People can't hear me. Oh, Hold up. Hold up. No, there is sound. Oh, Smurfy says there is sound and that maybe it's just one person. Okay. Okay. So we're all good. We're all good, everybody. Right. So I actually want the recent one. Sorry, the frequent one, which is this one. I think by default, we for most like builds, we will show frequent instead of recent. That's the default. It's just my particular instance with my build of Windows is broken. Excuse me while I take a bite of toast. So, we're actually going to want some of this. Build tasks, build legacy. Okay. Using our nav history data. We don't need to use a mutable array. There's some kind of optimization here. Because I guess you can allow both frequent. And recent. What was the wonder what the history is here. Maybe we looked into this, but I just wanted to check again. Dot recent equals false. No, what am I looking for? Firefox JS. Taskbar. Recent. Enabled. False. Let's go back in time. Back in 2019. Back to even further. Back when this first landed in 2009, we defaulted recent to false and we never added it. We never enabled it. It looks like we do. Yeah. Right. So we determined that we don't really need to worry about. If we need to add it down the line, we'll add it down the line. But for now, users aren't dealing with it. Instead of doing pending statements, are we in the midst of building an earlier iteration of this list? If so, bail out. So if there's like ongoing fetching here and somehow we re-enter build list, ignore it. Get history results. Again, pardon my eating. Execute legacy query. I bet we can do better here. I think there are more promisey ways of doing this. Really just jam that toast in there. Sorry for making you watch me eat. I love peanut butter and toast. Let's see the best way of doing a query. Fetch. Remove by filter. Remove. We get a query. And then we execute the query. I see. Is that how it's done? Hang on a quick second. Just a quick second. I need to look at some example code for a second. One moment. Fetch many. That's what I want to see. Fetch many. DB execute cached. Right? Because like what is the actual query here? Query is get new query. Options. Max results is the limit and sorting mode. Here. This is what I'm trying to look at. Oh, not Mandy. Many. But I don't know what the API is. I think maybe that's what I need to do is I need to read some... Oh, it wants GUIDs, which is not the case. I need to do a query. Query. Execute cached has visits history fetch fetch many remove by filter. It's not exactly it. What I want is, yeah, how does this normally happen? If I go like get new query, what's the state of the art here? Maybe new tab utils. Is this still the way you do it? Async execute legacy query? If there's a legacy query, there's got to be a more advanced one. Execute query. Don't rely on it. So if a real async querying API. Okay, what is the replacement? Oh, C execute query. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be. Execute query. Is this what we're supposed to use instead? We get a result. I'm gonna guess not, actually, because that looks synchronous, and we don't want to do synchronous queries like that. Wow, a lot of chat in the chat about audio. I hope the audio is working okay now. Execute cached history. what I'm going to look at is not insert, provider places. What's con? An SQLite connection. Con, start search, getting the database handle. Hold on. The DB that I want is, I think, Promise. Yeah, this one. Promise DB connection. Places. Previews. New tab utils. And then execute cached with the query. Okay. I think this is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. But it's old school. And we don't want to... Oh, it's already in here. Okay. It's old school, and I don't mean to harp on the old school, but... yeah, I needed this up here, too. So what I'm going to do is... con equal... basically this. We're going to get the database connection for history. And then we're going to run execute cached rows equals cached query. The actual query that's being run here, get new query. What does that do? Get new query. So using it will give you all history. Select from, let's look at the implementation. Oh man, got this like ORM thing. Nav history query. I want from Moz places. And do I want everything? I really just want the URI and the title. P.URL, P.title from Moz places P. And then I want a limit and the sorting mode. Limit. But that can be part of the options, I think. Right? Sorry, it's been a long time since I've done this kind of like execute cached, params, options, columns, array of column names if supply the return items will consist of the objects of column. Query, params, columns. Object of SQLite binding parameters. Let's see people do this. New tab utils execute. We want visit ID and URL params URL. And the query is this very complicated thing. And what I want is very simple. Select the title from Moz Places P, organized by recency, I think. Sorting mode is the sort of thing I can supply with query params, which is the second argument. It's the query and then query params. So query params is an object that will have sorting mode. Is that sorting mode? Get history results. I want sort whenever we're running get. Frequent, which is the one that we want, is sort by visit count descending. So can I like use that as part of? I don't think so. I think I need to actually do it like this. Whoops. Select PURL from Moz Places T, order by P last visit date descending. Limit, and then I'm going to supply limit, and then the limit is a limit, which is normally max item count. Okay. That's for frequent. That's fine. Limit max item count. Okay. And then for each result, so we don't need that. Let custom descriptions equal rows.map row return, and then it's going to be like this. Oops. Call URI title. Title. So the page title. Row.get result by name. Not Bane. Not Bane. Get result by name. Title. Description is the same thing. And then what do we want? I think we can get rid of all of this. Don't need that. Don't need this. This is the interesting part now. If there's no title, let title equals row.getResult by name title, or row.getResult by name URL. Oh, I think I think I can actually make that part of the query. Select p URL p if null p title then p.url as title. I think that'll work. So I don't need to do this. Just be row description is title. The more you can offload to the SQL database, generally, the better. That's just a quick mic tip for you there. Path will be the self path again, but the arguments will be the URL. Row.getResult by name URL. The fav icon, the handler app icon. What is the icon index? I see. So it'll be just one hard coded in. And then we can supply the fallback, the icon path, which will be the favicon page URI, which is just the result URI. Icon path. Huh. Okay. Row.getResult by name URL. And then I think we say populate the jump list and then we're going to put in this string in between. I think that'll do it. Let's see. Can we prettyfy this? Probably. But let's just build and run and see what happens. Neurotor, I'm glad your headphones are working properly now. So I'm going to expect to not see anything particularly strange here, because this is going to be using the legacy backend. Now, the best way, I think, to demonstrate that I'm entering here is probably to log something using the new backend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the pref, legacy backend, and say false. Shut down, rebuild, and then we're going to run it. Coke and tea. It's the flavor combination you didn't know you wanted. That as a chaser for the peanut butter and on toast. Hey, all right, so stuff's showing up in there. And do we see our log? No. Okay. So let's see here. Let's enter the debugger. breakpoint here. And then we have to kick this thing off. And that's by getting access to this object, which is the win taskbar jump list. And what's the best way of getting at that? Is to just import it. Win taskbar jump list. Okay. Update. So we didn't hit our breakpoint, so let's find out why. We're not enabled. Well, that would explain it. Why aren't we enabled? Can I call reset prep refresh prefs on it? And then let's set our breakpoints in here. Okay. Pref taskbar enabled. Get bool pref prefs. What's the value? True. Now we're reset. Okay, so now maybe it's like there's like a laziness here. Can't access property refresh prefs. This builder is null. Okay, now we're entering here. We apparently are using the legacy backend. Can I execute this again? What is the value of this? False. So did startup not get executed? I guess we could tell by looking to see whether or not there's a builder. No. So we haven't run startup yet. And what runs startup? Is it called externally? Yeah, it is. Here. So maybe we should do that instead. All right. Now update. What in the world? Here. Let's run startup again. Oh. Knitting taskbar failed. Why? Because the PB builder is not available because I removed I removed part of the API. Yes, I seem to recall removing that part of the API. Available. We removed it. And that's why this is broken. So what we're going to do for now, just to like make ourselves happy and get ourselves moving here, I'm just going to return, or just going to do that and then restart. Hilarious. That, is a good sign. It's time to like move, I think, the the old things that we removed back so that we can still flip back and forth between the old and new mechanism. Startup. Okay. Constructing, doing the thing. Legacy backend is now false. Okay, so now if I say update, we enter here. And we skip that, and now we're going to enter here. Here's the new backend. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got our task descriptions. There's 4 of them. Oh, and now we're bailing out. Something went wrong. I think we may have... Did we just throw an exception? Oh, yeah. I should await this. I need to await the execute cached. Rows is a promise. Yeah, okay. Let's get out of here. Build list. Need to await this. Yo. All right, making baby steps here. At least you know who to blame. Exactly. Man, you remember at the very beginning, it was all like, we're just going to tear out all this old bad stuff. Well, we're putting it all back just so that we can have both exist. But we got somewhere in the end. All right. Let us start up. And then let us update. Okay. Oh, and then we re-enter. That's why we're re-entering, because we call this twice. Okay. Yes. Oh, wait. And then we get our custom descriptions. And we've got our rows. Do we construct? All right, let's look at what's getting constructed here. Can I look at rows? Task descriptions. Got these fun things. Arguments. Yeah, path, new private window. Open new window, open new tab. Open new private window. New private window is in here twice. That's kind of interesting. We probably don't want that. Open a new browser window. Open a new browser tab. I wonder why this is in here twice. We're going to want to look at that. And then the custom ones. Okay. These look like potentially legitimate. Potentially legitimate values. Let's let her rip. Okay. Now, how do I know? So we've got our double here. So it worked. We populated these, which is great. Good job, us. That's amazing. Now, why are there 2 of these? That's my first question. So let's do that again, but take a look at what this underscore tasks is. What is this? Tasks. 4 items. And then 2 of them are the private window one. Why are there 2? Why is that in there twice? Private window task is inserted if private browsing utils is enabled. Oh, probably because we called startup twice and startup was already called automatic. Okay. I think I know what's going on here. So we're going to disable all our breakpoints. Remove all. Let's start over. I expect to see new private window here twice for a second here. But then if I call from the toolbox update, I think we'll only see it once. That's interesting. New NS error unexpected. We'll have to look at that. But yeah, we only see it once now. Hooray! Now let's see if it works. Open new tab. Okay, it asked about the profile. I don't know if that's a regression or not. Okay, this is encouraging. So we've got it kind of wired up. Let's commit what we've got, and then let's spend a little bit of time putting some stuff back. We're gonna want to at least put the available back. We have this like first commit. I wish, okay, at least you know who to blame. Alignment issue in the block arrow in the right column of the toolbox? Probably. I wasn't really looking. SureShack says, I wish the JS engine had given an error if we missed a wait unless it is in promise.all, etc. Well, sometimes you don't want to await. Like, it was plausible from the JavaScript. The JavaScript engine has no idea if I want to await this rows object later. Like, that maybe it thinks I'm going to do something with this promise. Maybe it thinks maybe execute cache returns a promise that's been decorated with something called map. Like, our JavaScript engine has no way of really knowing, I think, if I'm trying to, like, if I'm just using promises incorrectly or if I'm trying to do something strange involving promises. I don't think it knows. So I'm not sure how plausible or possible it would be for a meaningful error message in that way. Maybe. Okay, I want to put some stuff back. We've got our patches here, and one of the very first patches removed a bunch of stuff. Excuse me. Unused jump list builder attributes. And we made the available method return a promise. Hilarious. Is list committed? We got rid of all those things. You know what? Let's not worry about doing that. We're going to drop that and then make the available method return a promise. Is available. And that was because I was trying to get all of this stuff off of the main thread. So we're taking a lock. What were we doing before with available? Available used to just return true if m jump list manager existed. I think we can revert that. I think let's drop both of these 2 early patches. I don't think they're of any value whatsoever. So we're going to use hist edit, and we're going to just drop them. In Rust, they give messages like futures do nothing if it isn't awaited. I'm not a languages designer. Maybe there is something we can do. I don't know. So we're going to drop this. We're going to drop that. Let's drop those things. Drop it like it's hot. Conflicts. Right. Windows, jump list builder. I know I have this file open in the background here. What's the problem? Oh, do is available. It's like, I expect you to have that. Well, it's gone now. And then we should just have available. Get available is here. Yeah. We take a lock on the monitor. That's fine. And then we can get rid of the little hack we did here. And then let's amend that. Oh wait, sorry, we're still in the middle of a conflicted situation. So I should probably put this back. I forgot. I was got too impatient. Are there any other? No? Okay, I can resolve this conflict then. Hist edit continue. All right. So we should have successfully dropped those, and we're gonna change the hack here. We're gonna get rid of that hack, and then we're gonna start putting some stuff back. What I'm hoping to do in the next 8 minutes before the stream ends is to put some of the stuff we removed back, and then we're gonna start the process of cleaning everything up. And then we can start our testing. Like, I need to lint all of this. We need to clean all of this up. We need to start documenting what's going on in here. So the things I want to start putting back, I think what we'll do is we'll take a look at the jump list builder API here. We're basically going to revert most of this except for the new method that we added. So we're going to put abort list build back. Promise. We were so naive. We thought we knew what we were doing. Delete active list. It's going to go back. Properties. Quick edit mode. I think that's right. And then set app user model ID. It's going to go back the way it was. I think we can get rid of this enum. We weren't using that anymore. Pretty sure. Category type. Yeah, we stopped using that. And then, yeah, we have our new method that we'll keep. So that's good. And now we're going to update. Oh, win taskbar, create jump list builder, implicit. I guess we can get rid of that. SI win taskbar. There is not necessarily an implicit JS context. Create jump list builder. I mean, maybe there needs to be actually. There was a reason for that. Create jump list builder. Oh, it was so we could call this IC and get a promise back out and then just not do anything with it. Okay, we can get rid of that because we're reverting that. Reverto Alomar. Oof. Okay, now into C++. Yeah, I added a bunch of stuff up here because I moved a static function into this and I probably didn't need to. Let's jump list shortcut description. I need that. We're going to revert this, the set app user model ID method. Use the old signature again. You know what? There might actually be a way for us to pick and choose. I haven't done this on Windows in a while, so this might not work. But let's try a thing. Let's commit this, and then we're going to use a tool called Commit Interactive that, in theory, I don't know if this will work, but in theory might allow us to like use the curses UI to like pick and choose which parts of the patches we want to keep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like say uncommit everything in here. We're going to keep it in the working directory, but then I'm going to say commit interactive, commit or HG amend interactive. Let's see what happens. The cursed UI. Yeah. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. That's brutal. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Back to what we were doing then. How come I can't select again? I said quick edit mode, and stick with that, please. Why does that keep like resetting? Set app user model ID. And then get rid of all of this new stuff that we added. And instead, well, let's keep the assert on the main thread, but then I'm going to do this. Get the lock. If no jump list manager, return NS error not available. And then we do that. And then assign and then return NSOK. What's this about M6 packages? Yeah, okay. And then we don't need to do this. We just say NSOK. All right. Get available is fine. Do a init list build. we were like, hey, always do this off of the main thread. I'm gonna revert. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's keep that actually. This is a pre-existing thing that was do abort list build. Did we make We made abort list build work off of the main thread too, eh? I think we're just gonna revert that. And then this, why did we flip this? Add the tasks. That looks like a maybe a bug. We got rid of succeeded. If failed, return value. I don't know why we did that. If succeeded, return value equals true. Why would we have done that? Maybe someone here remembers. What a bizarre thing to flip. Hopefully that would have been caught during review, but I'm glad we caught it here. And then down in abort list build, there's all this gunk that we're going to get rid of. Instead, we also need to get the lock. Reentrant auto enter. And then we get rid of the error handler. Where are we right now? Do abort list build. I think we want to get rid of like all of this stuff. Get rid of this. Yeah. Return unexpected. And then say abort list, building list is false. And then we return NSOK. Revert, revert, revert. Delete active list. All of this business until we take the lock. So much work going down the drain, but it's okay. That's sometimes how it goes. We were wrong the first time. It'd be nice if this was easier to revert, if this was like a single commit, but we have a big mess basically, which is that we put it all into one big patch, so we're having to do all this by hand. Val equals true, and then probably return NSOK, right? Okay. Then we have our actual function that we added. That I feel pretty good about. Then we have this get shell link thing. Okay. Let's amend Let's build and see what happens. I expect there to be problems. I know there's going to be problems. We didn't update our header. And we also didn't save this file. So we're going to save this file. And then we're going to go into jumplistbuilder.h. And we're going to get rid of some of these things. Export, widget, windows. What is it? Widget, windows, jumplistbuilder.h. Unknown revision. Oh, hg export. Or hg diff r central. Yeah, I put in this maybe. That's no longer true. This comment. And we added all of these things. All of the do's after do a init list build. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to keep the get shell link for now. All right, let's build this. All right, I'm going to call it in a few minutes. I've got a meeting. When is this meeting? I hope it's not right now. Hold on. Okay, I have a little bit of time. But I am going to have to call it soon. But I do want to get this building. Create jump win taskbar. Win taskbar, the header, it needs to be changed to win taskbar. What did we do in here? What did we do? Get app user model ID register. It's doing all this compilation. I don't need you to do that. Diff r central widget windows win taskbar dot h. Nothing. I see. Create jump list builder still has some stuff in here. Create jump list builder. We're going to get rid of that JS context. No longer necessary. We're just going to pass that. We don't need the promise. And then we don't need to bring in promise.h up here. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Exit. Go to a different terminal. First one. Why are you still building? I'm gonna Control C. Build. in a way, I'm actually kind of glad we got to get rid of a bunch of that stuff that we wrote early on because I wasn't super happy with it. Like, I think we're going to end up, this is going to be a multi-phase little project of ours where we like I had mentioned earlier, we're going to do a rollout. Once we do the controlled rollout, we can start getting rid of the old stuff, and that will allow us to get off like everything off of the main thread, which will be nice. But we need to make sure we need to optimize for shipping stuff that works before we optimize for shipping stuff that's like super performant. We like make sure it works first. Jumbless builder, nothing. Bringing in nothing still. Okay, there was another one of these, eh? Abort list build. Okay. Try that. What you think about that? Now you know how I feel. I think I've made that joke before where I'll suddenly like break into a Spice Girls cover. Hit me up in the comments about how you feel about the Spice Girls. You know, shout out to the Spice Girls. Let's see. I'll see you in the comments. Error out of line definition of abort list builds not match any declarations. So abort list build. Still has this old signature. Right. So let's try it again. Smurf D says, not spicy. That's Smurf D's opinion of the Spice Girls. Not spicy. Ironically, a spicy take. Hit me up in the comments about how you feel about Smurf D's spicy take. Please comment. Isn't that how people like get engagement and views and make money? Is they're like, just hit me up. Hit me up in the comments. No member name do populate jump list. Oh, did I get rid of something I shouldn't have? Shoot. I may have been a little overzealous and got rid of a header, line of the header that I needed to keep. Yeah, I needed do populate jump list still, obviously. All right. Zigga zigga ah, says Crushed Optimist. That is the correct response. Zigga zigga. I always thought she was saying something about a cigar. Zigga cigar. I thought she was saying cigar in a fun way. But I think she was just making a sound effect. Sure, Shaq clicked on the bell icons. Yeah. Just obliterate that bell icon, everyone. We're gonna see. I'm gonna do an experiment. Let's see if this works. Hey, smash that like and subscribe. I'm gonna see if there's gonna be a spike in subscriptions. Smash that subscribe button. Tell all your friends. Tell your neighbor. Go outside, find the first person that you can find, run up to them, and gently take hold of them by the lapels and say, hey, you should sign up and subscribe to The Joy of Coding on YouTube if you can find it. Let's see if there's a spike in subscriptions. If I suddenly am able to monetize this channel, I'll donate all the money to charity. I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, if somehow I just start making a bunch of money on this channel, okay, here's my promise to you. I'm going on the record. It's February 8th, 2023. If The Joy of Coding blows up and it's monetizable and starts making money, I will donate at least... I will donate all of that money to charity. That's what I'll do. I don't expect The Joy of Coding to blow up. If it does, amazing. But if suddenly I can monetize the channel and I just start seeing money flow in, I will donate all of that money to charity. I don't know which charity. Maybe we'll vote. But we'll do that. Oh, I gotta do a thumbnail with the surprised open mouth. Yeah, it's true. I could give it to the foundation. Danny Colin says I could give it to the Mozilla Foundation. That's true. I mean, we could vote. I don't expect us to actually make this channel monetizable, and but if it happened, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But you're right. We need the thumbnail of me going like. So here goes. Here goes. Let me quickly do this, and now, all right, get your cameras ready. There you go. That's the thumbnail. Someone suggested I buy a boat. I'm terrible. Like, I grew up in a household where there was a small boat. I am terrible on boats. Like, in that I am very useless. I don't know what to do on a boat. I just get in the way and I trip over ropes and I get hit in the head with the boom. Boats are scary to me. All right. So, did that stick? Maybe not, because I'm not seeing Oh, did I end up creating a new profile? Taskbar, legacy backend, false. Okay. It's got the builders. Use legacy backend as false. All right. Update. All right. All right. This is using the new backend. That's great. Okay, gang. We got rid of a lot of old code. That's good. We can sleep a little easier there. I think we're gonna need to figure out what that other exception is that's being thrown. And let's monetize this channel, gang. Get everyone you know to watch every single minute of this channel. Have it on loop. Buy every computer in your hometown. Sign into this channel. Put every single video to play on loop and click every ad. Just whatever ads show up. And let's monetize this channel and donate that money to charity. Let's do it. I don't know if that's how it works. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't understand YouTube. But maybe that's how it works. All right. Well, we got it to compile. We have, I think, a much more reasonably sized patch. We make a couple of changes here and there. We basically just add a new method. I do want to move this get shell link, actually. We had inserted it just because we were I was being lazy. I wanted to change the get shell link. I'd created a version that do populate jump list. Here's the other. Item link IO thread. And I don't actually remember. I think we had made some changes to get shell link. Right. I think what we'll do, we'll have to create a new thing. We'll call it like get shell link from description. And then we can put this where the other one is. Where's the get shell link? Where's the other one? Get shell link. It's in jump list item. Jump list shortcut get shell link. So we're going to create jump list shortcut get shell link from description. We're going to move that jump list shortcut. Is it item? Yeah. We're going to put it right after this one. And I don't think we need the... Oh, I do. Jump list shortcut. Jump list shortcut. Get shell link from description. We're going to change the header. From jump list builder, we're going to get rid of this. Instead, put it in jump list item. Get shell link. Get shell link from description. And then I think I need to builder.h. I think that was using, am I using maybe in here? No, I don't need maybe anymore. I think I don't need this anymore. Do I? Oh, I do. Okay, I'm gonna need it in the other one as well. Jump list item .h. Mozilla DOM. Const DOM description. Okay. And let's see. Get shortcut. Get shell link. Do that here. Get shell link from description. We're gonna call it jump list item, or jump list shortcut is what I think the oh boy, jump list item. Oh, why am I so confused? Jump list shortcut. Yeah, that's what I want. And then finally another one. All right. If this builds, I'm calling the episode. Yeah, some sick burns on YouTube in the chat. Keep it up. Keep that snark up. Get wrecked, Google. Get wrecked, YouTube. Yeah. Thank you for hosting my videos. Okay. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what you mean on jump list item 382. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Please don't quote me. Google, we have a good relation. Well, we have what's called cooperation, where we like, we have a lot of friends at Google, especially on the Chrome team. And the Blink team, like they're good people over there. But any organization like Google, any organization of any significant size, Mozilla included, but Google and Microsoft and Amazon, all these big tech companies, you're going to get non-uniform sort of like ethics vibes. And the people I've worked with from Google are great. So no shade to them. But some shade to the business practices. What is this complaining about? Const. Oh, it doesn't know what I'm talking about. That's why. And the way that we dealt with this before is you say using. I don't want to be mean really to any company that I think, you know, there are good people at Google, there's good people at Amazon, there's good people at Meta for that matter, but that doesn't mean I agree with some of the business practices of those organizations. There are some companies though that I feel strongly against, and that, like Palantir. Yeah, that's one. That's one that I think not a fan. Not a fan in general. Monsanto. There's another one. These are my opinions. Please don't get me fired. I don't think I'm saying anything controversial. And who's watching this anyway? It's just a couple of cool people, but it's not a huge crowd. Unless we monetize this channel, we get hundreds of thousands of people to watch this in the next 48 hours. We can monetize this channel, donate this money to take Monsanto down. I'm making wild claims. Feeling silly. Okay. I think this build is going to go through. I think I saw that we're about to hit the linking step. If we link, I'm not even going to rerun it. I'm just going to... You know what? I'm just going to cap the episode here. Hey, thank you so much for watching episode 315 of The Joy of Coding. Thanks for listening to my spicy takes about Monsanto. Super brave take. Same with Palantir. There are other takes about other things, but primarily what we did was we cleaned up a patch, and that's good. Let me know what you thought of this episode. You can send me messaging. You can send me, if you follow the link here and the rate this episode link here in the form, in the agenda rather, you can send me a message and let me know what you thought of the episode. Maybe you don't like my spicy takes. Maybe you're like, hey, just get back to the patches. What's your problem, Mike? In which case, yeah, tell me all about it. Give me an earful. So you can click on rate this episode. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching episode 315 of The Joy of Coding. I hope that was interesting. Have yourselves a great week. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.